Good morning, Agape. Welcome, everyone. We're so glad that you are here with us this morning. That was Ben Dowling on our meditation music, and we are blessed and grateful for him. Thank you so much, Ben. Well, it's so good to have us all here together, all around the globe, and just standing for love, unconditional love. That's what Agape is all about. I'm Mary Ann Lewis, Music and Arts Director here, and it's a pleasure to welcome you. We have an incredible house band with us this morning. Yeah, y'all look good too. Okay. And we have Victor Dickerson with us as well. All right. The voice of Agape. So, hey, let's all sing together. Right where you're at, go ahead, stand, raise the roof. As we sing. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit, stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on the spirit. Yeah. Well, I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit, stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind, walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on spirit, stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on spirit. shining with my mind. Yeah, gotta stay on spirit. Yeah, rising and shining with my mind. Gotta stay on spirit. Rising and shining with my mind. Stay on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stay on the spirit now. Woke up this morning with my mind. Gotta say, yeah. Stay on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Stayed on the spirit. On spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Beautiful day, Agape Nation. Now it's time for our meditative thought, done with joy, of course. Reverend Michael tells us this to put into practice and to put into play this week. This is what he writes. It's up on your screens. Lately, I found myself thinking about the word yes, which comes from the Old English meaning, may it be so. It's a short, simple word whose full meaning and impact can be easily overlooked. And yet, when we stand before life in the full Monty of yes, we are trusting the intelligence, the fundamental goodness of the universe. Test this the next time you say yes, and see how it is accompanied by an inner relaxation, an exhalation into, and so it is, and I let it be. In the busyness of the day, even with the best of intentions, it's sometimes challenging to repeat an entire affirmation. But a mantra of yes can say it all. Let's join together and put our collective energy into yes. Let's get in tune with it and let it pour over our being. From Reverend Michael for each of us to practice this week. Love to you, Agape Nation. Thank you.
It's time now for our congregational song. And if you're joining us for the very, very first time, it is called Use Me, and the words are on the screen. So we welcome you to sing along with us. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. Hear all of mine. Show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us
to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you.
hear all of mine as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do?
Must they do?
Command my life,
It's here for you.
God
heals all creation. God is creator and makes all things new. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So see, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
And welcome to Agape International Spiritual Center, and that's where we stand. We stand as a dynamic exclamation point for availability, that the Spirit of the living God, the living one, can express itself by means of us with ease and with grace, with dignity and power and poise and confidence for such a time as this. I welcome you to Agape with the first ringing of the gong in recognition of the great God of the universe that's everywhere in its fullness. The second gong in representation or in honor of the individual expression of the presence of God, which is each and every one of us, packed with infinite potential. And the ringing of the gong for the third time is a mandate for us to manifest. That is, to bring into time and space that which is eternal, allowing love and generosity and peace and creativity and artistic perceptivity to absolutely manifest on this planet through and as us. I welcome you into that dynamic. As always, we have wonderful music as an intimate expression of the Spirit of the living God in our services. Today we bring back our very own Jason Powell. He's originally from San Francisco, California. I always say he's originally shot from the eternal presence of God. Landed in San Francisco, grew up singing as a child with his family on street corners, churches, and talent shows, anywhere and everywhere they could sing. He's an alumnus of San Francisco School of Arts High School, Cal State Fullerton's University Theater Arts School, the Actors Studio, the MFA program in New York. He's worked on Broadway as an actor, as a vocalist, toured throughout the USA, Japan, Mexico, Honduras, Cayman Islands, and Canada, working with artists such as Stevie Wonder, John Legend, Will.i.am, Chaka Khan. He's taught English, music, and drama in the LA Unified School District for 15 years. Currently, his gifts are being felt at the Hollywood High School. We bring our brother forward right now. This is Jason Powell, ably backed by Ben Dowling on the piano, John Hart on bass, David Neal on guitar, Rayford Griffin on the drum aspect of life.
Good morning, God morning, Agape. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Ooh, I see skies of blue white, the bright blessed days and the dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? But they're really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying, and I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. Mr. David Neal on lead guitar. Oh, the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and that's also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? But they're really saying, I love you. Babies crying, and I watch them grow. They'll learn so much more than I'll ever know. And I sit back and think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world, a wonderful world. And I think to myself, yes, what
That is Brother Jason Powell. You can chat him up online. Let him know how much you appreciated him opening up your consciousness to see that your eyes may be lying to you about the world we really live in, because we have overcome the condensed world of effects and circumstances, and we are seeing a world that works for the highest and best within us all. We see it and bring it forth. What a wonderful world. As I'm welcoming you here today, I'm embracing all of the veterans that have been tuning in and attending Agape over the last 35, going on 36 years. And I'm embracing all of those who are with us newly on this particular path with us. Whether this is your first time or whether you are new to Agape, we want to welcome you. And if this is your first time, and if you are a newbie, you can stand up wherever you are around the world. We have people who have in 80-something countries. And so wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in, if you're new, you can stand up. As we embrace, along with the practitioners that are online, we embrace you by saying, welcome to Agape. We recognize you. We see who you truly are. Spiritual image and the very likeness of God. That truly you are a one-of-a-kind, wonderful, a unique expression of brilliance, beauty, and intelligence. Indeed, you are a one-of-a-kind, magnificent being. And today, we get to embrace and celebrate your uniqueness and your infinite potential. We appreciate you. And we thank God for you, thus saying from the depth of our being, welcome to Agape! That welcome is for you, from all of us here in the land of Agape, the land of unconditional love, the spiritual center that love is building. We have wonderful practitioners. You heard me use the word. If you're new to Agape, that's a spiritual therapist, individuals who have logged on many hours and months and years in classes for their own unfoldment. And then many of them have felt a calling to enter into a professional life of being a spiritual therapist. Those are the licensed practitioners here at Agape. And we have one, David Klein-Levitt, who will come forward in just a moment to represent that entire field of consciousness. He's going to turn this place into an affirmatorium in which we affirm the very truth of our being. He's going to bring us into our purpose statement, give us a selected reading of the day, and then pull us into a moment of evocation. Now, if you've been at Agape for a while, listen to the purpose statement as if you've never heard it before and feel the power of affirmation. Brother David? Oh, no, it's not David. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. This is John Jacob Mabodrick. David was written down on the paper that I read. I memorized that paper. But John Jacob is here from Costa Rica.
Yes, pura vida.
So pura vida. Agachete, baby.
Explotado.
And he works for our sister organization, the Rhythmia Life Advancement Center. He's a licensed practitioner. He's global in his teachings, emanates straight from Agape. I love this man. He's going to do everything I said David was going to do. But John Jacob Mabodrick is going to do it.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. So good to know that there's just one of us here anyway, so we're all good. Reverend Michael's theme this month, Your Destiny Transcends Density. And his topic today, to be childlike, not childish, is the way. It was my joy to facilitate our meditation with music provided by Ben Dowling. Today's musical inspiration is Brother Jason Powell, and our interpreter for today is Romina Mena and Zachary Goldstein. Licensed practitioners are currently holding prayer vigil and engaging with you in the comments of this broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. You're invited to share any prayer requests there or contact our prayer ministry directly. Now it is time for our affirmations. I invite you to please stand and repeat them aloud after me, line by line. That's right, in your living room. Stand up right now and begin with enthusiasm. Wild enthusiasm charges every activity of my life. I am stark, raving glad, God-loving and divine. The financial energy of the universe flows freely through me. I am a generous and generative being. The high calling of Christ consciousness resounds in my awareness. I am a sacred servant of God's perfect plan. Gratefully I live these words of truth. And so it is, amen. Well done. Agape's purpose statement. When I tell people that I'm an Agape licensed practitioner or about our spiritual community, and they go, what is Agape? And I just refer to the purpose statement. It's the most concise and powerful statement of truth. And Agape's purpose statement is that our purpose as an intentional spiritual community is to be a living environment for individuals to realize that they are unique emanations of God, the love intelligence governing the universe. We embody an understanding of our oneness with God, and we consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through the New Thought, Ageless Wisdom teachings and energy of unconditional love, we are committed to individual transformation and to being a beneficial presence on the planet. Simply, we are here for God. Our selected reading is taken from The Motherhood Evolution by Susie Lula and can be found on page 161. Meditation sets up the conditions to quiet the mind and open the heart so that we can experience true being with ourselves. Meditation is the most powerful technology we have to create awareness of this union with ourselves. Communing with the silence has the uncanny ability to shift through the many layers of habits and conditioning, restoring us to our true, authentic nature, our original, innocent essence. A full heart invites an illumined mind. Rather than trying to quiet the mind, simply allow the heart to open. Our mind seeks to fix, whereas our heart naturally embraces. Residing in our heart allows the stress, pressure, and anxiety that we place upon ourselves to gracefully fall away. In this way, the heart works in tandem with the breath, our breath being the ultimate connector to the one breath that breathes all life. Meditation is a transformational bridge to assist us to move from one state of consciousness to a more awakened state. Meditation is the ultimate practice to nourish your spirit, because the silence is the most nutritious food for the spirit. Meditation introduces you to your own divinity. When you care for your highest self, you live your highest life. May you live your highest life this day. I invite you to close your eyes and join me in prayer as we step into a deep realization of gratitude, grateful for this day, grateful to be right here, right now, grateful for this beautiful reading, grateful for the teachers that have brought these teachings to us and lead us from darkness into light, grateful for the teachings of truth and wisdom that resound through the ages. I'm grateful for this place called Agape. Grateful for this community, for this family, for this center of truth and light and love. And it is in this gratitude that I recognize and know that I am so grateful to know that there's only one power. There's only one source. There's only one thing happening. I'm so grateful to know this truth, to know the truth of that which is real, that which is enduring, that which is unchanging, that which is eternal. And I recognize that truth at the essence of my being, for I know that I didn't come from nothing. I came from something. We all came from something. Life doesn't come from nothing. We came from life itself. So I recognize God at the center of my being, at the center of each one of your beings, true, unexpressed, pure spirit. And in this realization that the presence, this perfection is the activity of our lives, I know it is the activity of this service. Knowing that infinite intelligence knows the way to fulfillment, this service is already excellent, already perfect. Knowing that there's one source, one life, one mind, one heart, then I know that Reverend Michael steps forth in this field of unconditional love to deliver the truth in a new way that falls upon open hearts and open ears, that something is transformed today, that today is the day. Now is the appointed time for each of us to fulfill our destiny, a deeper realization of our oneness with God, and it's all happening now. So grateful, so thankful. I step into an awareness now to share with you a little bit of Spanish. So grateful, estoy muy agradecido por este momento, por esta comunidad, por esta familia de Agape, para conocer Dios, para conocer amor. Estoy muy agradecido por este día y para saber que Dios es amor, Dios es paz, Dios es abundancia. Y todo está pasando ahorita. Este servicio, esta ceremonia es perfecto. Y el Reverendo Miguel es la esencia de amor, de Dios. Y todo está bien, todo está perfecto. And finally, a blessing for the new moon in Arabic as we end Ramadan and our brothers, Muslim brothers and sisters around the world. That as the moon, this new moon, waxes in the coming month, so too may the blessings that it shines upon your face grow, that we each may live our highest life this day. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Amen. Thank you, Brother John Mubarak. John Jacob Mubarak, actually. As I indicated, he primarily lives in Costa Rica these days, emanating from the Rhythmia Life Advancement Center. So I'm doing a shout out right now to all the people from Rhythmia who are tuning in right now. Perhaps you're sitting there with the Reverend Susie Lula, who's teaching there for the next 3 weeks, teaching The Answer Is You, my teachings there. And so Reverend Susie, God bless you, and all the people who are surrounding you right now watching this service. Marianne?
Yes. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Oh, hold my hand while I run this race. No, I don't want to run this race in vain, race in vain. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Oh, guide my feet while I run this race. No, I don't want to run this race in vain, race in vain. Yeah, yeah, stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Oh, stand by me while I run this race. No, I don't want to run this race in vain, race in vain. Hey, now hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. No, I don't want to run this race in vain, race in vain. No, I don't want to run this race in vain, race in vain. No, I don't want to run this race in vain, race in vain.
And that is the truth. The race is not given to the one who is swiftest or fleetest of foot, but to the ones who endureth to the end, to the ones who create a way of living ingrained in their thought, their word, and their actions. As we welcome you to Agape, we're going to give you the privilege of understanding some other things going on in our community. Obviously, we have the 3 services on Sunday, but there are many other things that are happening that you might be able to find out about if you explore our website. Brother Jason Benefield, great practitioner here at Agape and great servant, is going to highlight some of those things.
Good morning, Agape. We have a few highlights for you today. Please make sure that you visit the website at agapelive.com for more details on all of this. All times listed are Pacific Daylight Time. Today, Teen Agape ages 14 through 19 is now in session, so you can still join. So click on the Teen Agape banner on the website. Also, preteens 9 through 13 meet at 2 p.m. and children ages 3 through 8 meet at 3:30 p.m. Both are on live Zoom. To join, get your Agape Youth Pack, email revleon@agapelive.com. Are you looking forward to meeting in person at Agape? Assist us. Our guest relations ministry is recruiting volunteers to serve. If you are interested, contact Willard Williams at guestrelations@agapelive.com for more information. The Crisis Support Clinic offers Zoom mini counseling sessions every Monday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. To receive details for your first come, first serve complimentary one-on-one session with a licensed practitioner, serving those who seem to be challenged with related to finances, relationships, housing, and jobs, email crisissupport@agapelive.com. This is offered to the community at large, so anyone may attend. This Tuesday, Laughter Yoga meets on Zoom at 6 p.m., facilitated by Agape Master Practitioner Martin Weech. On our website, click the banner to register. No experience necessary. Haha, mistake. Freedom Path Ministries Zooms this Wednesday at 5 p.m. Release any sense of addiction, old beliefs, or attachments. Go to our website and click on the Freedom Path banner at the top of the page for more information to register. This is a gift to the community. All are welcomed. Monday through Saturday, see you on Facebook at 8 a.m. for daily prayer and 12 noon for meditation. Go to our website for more details. Agape Spiritual Community Gathering is in session. Join us every Friday at 5:30 p.m. and connect in community for an enriching, inspiring gathering led by our practitioners and ministers. Email scg@agapelive.com for more information. And finally, the Rev's nutritional supplement line is here. If you ever wondered how Rev Michael maintains his vim, vigor, and vitality, then meet Adaptozen, Rev's new premium line of nourishing supplements in partnership with NutriRise. Comprised of various superfoods, formulas, Rev have been taken for years to maintain his health and energy, all condensed into one product line, Adaptozen's superfood greens, and the vitamin D3 plus K2 drops boost your energy, mood, and immunity, and gives your body temple the high-quality nutrients it needs to thrive so you can maintain your health to live optimally, especially during times of high stress. Go to NutriRise.com, click on Adaptogen, and get 10% off of your first order. And finally, Dance with the Rev. Get your endorphins flowing and shift your mood. Show us your moves in a 1-minute video dancing during a Sunday service and upload using the banner on the Agape website. And you may see yourself hashtag Dance with the Rev on social media and on Sundays. Peace and richest blessings, Agape.
Thank you, Brother Jason. So that's Adaptozen, Z-E-N, soon to be at Walmart and Amazon as well. But right now, you can go to NutriRise.com, Adaptozen, and get your stuff for your body temple. Hey, Jason Powell's coming up now. Open up your heart and feel into this. Brother Jason Powell, come on forward.
has been my one desire. God has been my everything. God's everything to me. Living in the Spirit has set my soul free. I gave my whole life to God, and I began to see. I had a revelation. One day
I was in prayer.
I had a revelation. I became so aware. My love for God was ever so true. I discovered God loves me and needs me too. Now I know why I'm alive. Ooh. God made me to reveal its holy face. I am the hand of God everywhere I go. And who I am matters to the Most High. I am the place for God, and that is why I'm alive. I had a revelation, yeah. One day while I was in prayer, I had a revelation. I became so my love for God was ever so true. I discovered God needs me and loves me too. Now I know why I'm alive. Alive. Had a revelation. Revelation. One day I was in prayer, had a revelation. And I was so aware my love for God was ever so true. I discovered God loves me, needs me too. And now I know why I'm alive. Woo!
That's Jason Powell. I can hear the thunder of the invisibles in the room right now. The off-planet people and the people who have made their transitions. People were hanging out, just having a great time here at Agape, because the place is basically empty except for the invisibles here. But they're thunderingly loud for Brother Jason Powell right now, and the wonderful Agape House Band, Ben Dowling and John Hart and David Neal and Rayford Griffin, under the soulful direction of Marianne Lewis, our music and arts director and great practitioner, by the way. Just feel into a deep sense of gratitude for all that goes on here in order for this place to be a fiat of the Spirit. And as he was singing, I had a revelation. Each and every one of us are actually here to have a personal revelation of the Spirit of the living God, not merely to memorize spiritual teachings, new thought principles. That's a beginning. But we're here primarily through our spiritual practices, our intentionality, our affirmative prayer, our meditation, our visioning, our high fellowship, our deep study, to actually have a personal revelation, and to have an insight, to have an opening, to feel and sense our unity with the presence of God, the living one, so that it's more real to us than the very chairs we're sitting on. Everything else is just a compilation of information. And if you keep taking in information without practice, you get constipated with information. You get stagnated, and then you wonder why nothing's working in your life. You have to have some level of practice that integrates what you are getting on an informational level, so that you understand the difference between the information that informs and the information that transforms. Your spiritual practice allows that information to be transformed into insights and revelation, in the same way that the food you eat gets transformed into muscle and beauty and sinew and power and reflex and flexibility. So we are here to have a personal revelation of the power and the presence and the love of God as activity of our awareness. Thus, the theme of this particular month is that your destiny transcends density. Now, when I say that, of course, we're dealing with a universal spiritual principle that teaches that each and every one of us are really a spiritual idea held in the heart mind of the infinite, a perfect idea that is unfolding forever, that encased within us and that is us is a perfect idea of limitless potential, infinite possibility of the expression of the attributes of the Spirit according to our uniqueness. This is very important because we are, even though we're all of the same species, well, most of us, there's a couple of off-planet people here, even though we're of the same species, we are unique in our way of expressing the infinite attributes of the Spirit of the living God. That encompasses our destiny to reflect and to reveal the infinite in ways only we can. As we participate in the embracing of our destiny consciously, we transcend the density of time and space, the density of coagulated thought forms, beliefs, perceptions, positionality, perspectives that have condensed themselves into circumstances and situations and experiences that we deem real, that we deem intractable. Your destiny transcends the density of your particular experience that you may be having. Naively, people used to think that your karma determined your destiny, that there used to be a thought many, many years ago that people would say, well, it is my destiny to be poor in this lifetime because that's my karma that I have accrued over past misdeeds in my life. And then Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus, came along and eradicated that particular thought. And we come to an understanding that karma can only determine starting places, that it can't determine your destiny. Your destiny is forged by attitude, which develops character, which develops your destiny. So once your attitude changes, then your character is infused with a higher intentionality, a better attitude, and then that begins to forge a destiny that allowed for your karma to only be a starting point for the next level of your expression. So you are here to absolutely understand that you're not to be daunted by circumstances and situations and past experiences. You're to use them as springboards into a greater expression of reality by embracing your destiny. Now, when we speak of destiny, we're not talking about the old concept of manifest destiny that the colonizers used to talk about. Well, it's a manifest destiny that we take over America and enslave the Native Americans and put them on reservations. That's our manifest destiny. Or to bring Africans to serve as slaves, or to intern our Asian brothers and sisters. No, the colonizer consciousness of destiny is not what we're talking about. But that's childish. We're talking about the destiny of your heart and soul that's loaded and coded within each and every one of us for brilliance and peace and love and joy and harmony and creative perceptivity and beauty perceptivity, not pathological perceptivity, of which many people have given vent to because they're looking for and seeking to protect themselves from the negative, so they have pathological perceptivity, always seeing the worst case scenario. No, we're here to live from creative and beauty perceptivity and God perceptivity, and embrace it in such a way through our prayer and through our meditation that we embrace a destiny of beauty and love and harmony and generosity and creativity beyond what the world can even give us. And in so being and so doing, we can see our life go through, we can have many lifetimes in one incarnation. And I can speak to that about my own life. I've had many lifetimes in one incarnation. I think about Michael of the past, and that Michael wouldn't even recognize this Michael. You see? And I'm so glad. Sometimes not really, but I'll just use this word. Sometimes I'm embarrassed by that guy, but not really. It was all a development of consciousness. And I can remember this. I can remember one time driving. This is pre-Agape. I was a newly licensed practitioner, maybe not quite licensed yet. And I was driving to the valley to speak at a senior citizen center. They wanted me to come out and teach some meditation. So I'm driving, and it had just been raining, and I'm kind of wondering about what my life entails. I've had this spiritual awakening, but it hadn't coagulated as to what my life would look like. And I was kind of daunted by circumstances a little bit. And then the rain stopped, and the sun was shining, and it was really a beautiful day. And then I saw myself. A vision of myself came. It was in the future. And it said to me, don't worry. Keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be all right. And I went on and I spoke. Everything was unfolding. And then a number of years later, I'm speaking at a Wednesday night service at Agape. And I'm in this exalted state of consciousness. And so as I'm driving home carefully, because I was really not really body conscious. I was just in an expanded state. And I remember, I remember when I was driving to the valley, the song Believe in Yourself was playing. Michael Jackson was singing. And so now I'm driving home on this Wednesday night service, and the Wiz song comes on again. Home is playing. And for some reason I started crying. And then all of a sudden, I see Michael, when he's like 26, 27 years old, driving to the valley to do this thing, and he's going through some stuff, and I say to him, it's going to be all right. I'm here. This is the version of who you're going to be. And so I had two different perspectives. I had the perspective of years ago, wondering what's going to happen, and then I came to myself and told me, and then I had the perspective on a Wednesday night service of actually being conscious of telling young Michael, it's going to be okay, it's all right, keep doing what you're doing. There's a destiny in you. It's trying to unfold. Keep on practicing. Keep on affirming. Keep on praying. Keep on studying. Don't worry about how to do it. Just keep on saying yes. And the condensation and the condensing of any thoughts or previous experience, your destiny will transcend the density. I think about that. As I mentioned last week, I was going to bring back my teacher, Homer Johnson, in a story. This is all true stories, you see, and you can't make this stuff up. But many years ago, first of all, Homer Johnson was one of my foundational teachers as I was studying. And Celeste, my wife, at the time, anyway, before I get to that point, I'll say that I was in practitioner training. when I first met Homer Johnson. And I was the youngest person in the class. And Nirvana was the next youngest. And we didn't have too much weight in the class because most of the people were 40, 50, 60 years old. We were in our 20s. And so though my revelations were real, they just looked at me like, well, you're 20-something, you don't know, and it was that kind of vibe in the class until Homer Johnson showed up. So Homer Johnson showed up and actually validated the insights I was having. He was validating the perspective I was walking with, the articulation of the Spirit. And so I was very enthused about meeting him. So I go home and I tell Celeste about this great teacher that I had met that night. And she said, what's his name? I said, Homer Johnson. And she said, Homer Johnson? That's my cousin. That's my mother's cousin. And she goes on to tell this story that her and her sister and her mom would go, and her dad would go visit Homer for dinner. They lived in Missouri. Homer Johnson was the Midwest director of the Science of Mind and Spirit under the direction of Ernest Holmes. And so they're into the conversation. Don Green is Celeste's dad's name. And Don notices this plaque on Homer's wall. And it's his practitioner license. And so he asks him about it. And Homer starts to explain to him about the tenets and the teachings of this new thought, ageless wisdom teaching. And he goes on to talk about, we believe that we're one with God, that we're never separate from the presence and the power and love of God, and all of the different tenets. And Don Green is saying, wait a minute, you can't be one with God. That's blasphemy. That's egregious. And Homer's trying to break it down to him. Anyway, the more Homer tried to teach Don, the more angry Don got. Until finally Homer had to ask Don to leave his house. Because Don had gotten so angry and incensed that Homer could actually think that he was at one with God. Anyway, that was the last time Celeste saw her cousin, Homer, because they could never go back to the house again because the argument had gotten really, really big. So, fast forward, me, Lissa Sprinkles, and Nirvana Gale had taken something called Silver Mind Control. I believe it's still going on today. This is back in the 70s. And so we're at the dinner table. We're talking about our experiences with this particular class. Don Green comes over to visit. And at that particular time, he was a very contentious man, really quick to anger and get arguments over anything. It was just kind of his nature at that time. So he's listening to me and Lissa and Nirvana talk about this Silver Mind Control class we had just graduated from. And he listens, and then he just leaves the house. He doesn't say goodbye, he doesn't say anything. He just walks out the door, drives away. And we're all looking kind of perplexed, but Don was interesting in those days, so we didn't think too much of it. 20 minutes later, he comes back with this box. And in the box was all this information about Silver Mind Control and all these documents and papers and notes and things of that particular nature. And he tells us that 2 years before that, he saw this advertisement in the newspaper that talked about Silver Mind Control. If you take Silver Mind Control, you receive these benefits or triple your money back. So he thought that was a good way to make some extra money. So he took Silver Mind Control not to learn about the depth of meditation or soul traveling or healing. He took it to make 3 times his money. So in order to do that, he had to be very meticulous in his taking of the class, so they couldn't say to him, well, the reason it didn't work was because you didn't do step A or step B or step C. So he did it so well that at the end of the class, we're given a test. You're given a little card, a 3x5 card, and it has a name on it. That's all it has on the card. And we were trained to go into alpha state and build a kind of a castle in our awareness where we could call forth wisdom and call forth inspiration and call forth knowledge from individuals that were on the other side of the veil. And we can do mental healing and things of that particular nature. As a matter of fact, there were these 2 kids in class with us. They were like 11 and 12, and we were trained like to go into the body and like mentally massage organs. So they had one boy in there. They said, we go in and massage this man's heart. He's having a heart issue. And they'd ask the other boy to do the same thing. And one boy said, well, I can't do it. He said, why not? He says, there are two hands already there. He could actually see the other boy's hands, mental hands around the heart. Anyway, Don Green takes the class, is doing the test, and he gets the name, and you call forth the name, and then this woman pops into his awareness, and in class you have to diagnose the woman and then mentally begin to do the healing work. So he thinks he's making this up in his head. So he writes down he has the woman's name, and he starts to diagnose, starts to do the healing, and then he gives the card to the teacher. And the teacher shows him the actual card, and he got 98% correct on the diagnosis. It scared him so much that this was legitimate that he ran home, put this stuff under his bed, never told anybody about it until 2 years later. We're talking about it in the bedroom. So Don Green becomes my student. He's over the house every day, asking me questions, asking me to teach him how to meditate, turning him on the books. He becomes this student. He becomes this like childlike being, really available. And my wife, Celeste, she's saying, why do you keep hanging around my dad? Because they knew him as this contentious, angry, quick to anger kind of guy. And I said, he's asking me all these questions. God brought him here. I got to help him, And everybody, my dad, my mom, were like, you're hanging out with Don Green? What are you doing? And I'm saying, Don Green is a student. I can't say, get out of here, And so, long story short, he comes to the Guidance Church of Religious Science. He starts to take classes. He becomes a practitioner. Then he enrolls into the school of ministry. Everybody's shocked but me, because I'm working with him. He enrolls into the school of ministry before I did. And his first day of class, he's helping to set up the chairs for the class. And this gentleman walks up behind him and says, aren't we kin? It was Homer Johnson. All these years later, the man that he rebuked and the man that had to put him out of his house because he said what he was teaching was blasphemous is the first teacher he had in the school of ministry. So you can see the unfoldment of his destiny from pain, as I've taught over the years, pain pushes until the vision pulls. You can see, like if you knew him at that particular time, you knew the anger, a lot of the anger that he had arose from the fact he worked for RCA at the time. He was a genius. He's a doctorate in I can't remember what his doctorate was in, but he invented a lot of the technology that was in RCA's arsenal, but he got no credit for it and no pay. He was this African-American man that was doing all this work behind the scenes. So when all these inventions came out from RCA and he got no credit, there was a lot of seething, a lot of anger within his consciousness that he was overlooked. Eventually, he was let go when he started to ask questions, says, how can they use my technology without putting my name on it, et cetera, et cetera. So that pain caused him to be contentious. That pain pushed him to try to get triple his money back. He just wanted to get some money back, you see. And then became a way by which he became so open to the Spirit, so childlike in his nature, that he was one of Dr. Dan's first assistant ministers after John Bradford and spoke occasionally at Guidance. Great destiny unfolded. The condensation of negativity and fear and anger and the circumstances and the experiences of ruffled relationships dissolved as this new being emerged. He became childlike, no longer childish. Therefore, today, we are seeking our childlike nature without being childish. This is what it states. Be ye as a child that you may enter into the realm of ever-expanding good. Be ye as a child that you may enter into heaven. Now, childlike nature basically assumes the posture of the greatest ability you will ever have, and your greatest ability is availability. Availability, receptivity, openness, wonder, and awe. Waking up with the sense of wonder and awe and training yourself to see everything for the very first time, every single time, to the best of your ability without the coagulation of previously points of view clouding your awareness so that you can actually see yourself and see others as a child unbridled imagination, great potential, great possibilities. I was having a moment like that this morning when I saw Nina Grace singing, and Marianne was up here, and I went to the back and I realized it was her. I didn't know it was her. She just looked different. And I said, oh, let me hug you for the first time. Marianne, let me hug you for the first time. Jason Powell, let me hug you for the first time. It was all a moment of seeing each other for the very first time, even though we see each other on a regular basis. It was just a childlike space. We want to be able to wake up, literally, spiritually, and be as a child, but not childish. We want to throw away childish things. Materialism, a belief that something outside of ourselves is going to bring us happy. Gross consumerism. We want to enter into a space where we come to an awareness that the world, as it is projected by the media, as it's projected by race consciousness, the collective belief of human society, is a coagulation of perception and beliefs and agreements. It is not the world that Jason Powell was singing about when he's saying, what a beautiful world. There's a world that is here. So when Jesus said, I've overcome the world, he was overcoming the coagulated thought forms that had formed themselves and condensed themselves in time and space. He was in a new world. My kingdom is not of this world. Different frequency. We want to enter into that, but we must be childlike in order for that to happen. Through our prayer and through our meditation, we begin to expound the boundaries of our awareness, and we begin to have a moment-by-moment realization that we're at the very center of the universe. Now, you may think you're in America or in Costa Rica or in Africa, a country in Africa, or Peking or Australia or Canada, but you want to begin to expand your perceptual boundaries, so you begin to see you're at the very center of the universe, which brought back the memory of my daughter Michaela and her mother, Leslie Celeste Beckwith, at the time, were always bumping heads over a particular thing. And that particular thing was Michaela would always rush out of the house whenever we were going somewhere, jump into the front seat and lock the door. And her mother, Celeste, would bang on the window, Michaela, get in the back seat. And she would say, no, I'm riding in the front with Dad. And Michaela, I would always just wait there patiently. And they would be arguing, no, I want to ride in the front seat. Michaela, get in the back seat. Come on now, we're not going anywhere till you get in the back seat. It was a constant thing. And then one day she got out, got in the back seat, slammed the door and said, from now on, this is the front seat. she said, this is the front seat. So she was opening herself up to the fact that she was at the center of the universe wherever she was. In her consciousness, she was in the front seat. That's what was going on. And she carried that frequency. You see, I want you to carry the frequency. But you got to pray. You got to have a personal revelation of this. You can't just hear me say, as a teacher, you're at the center of the universe. That's good information. It's the truth. It's a principle. It's undeniable. But it does nothing to heal you until you actually have that revelation. And you have that revelation when you pray. You have that revelation when you meditate. You have that revelation when you're practicing the life visioning process. You have that revelation, all of you who are with me right now, you probably have that revelation under the spiritual teachings of Reverend Susie. She brings you through you are the answer, frequency and vibration. You have to have that as a revelation, or it's just words. It's just things that you memorize. There's information that informs, and then there's information that transforms. You want transformational knowledge through spiritual practice, you see? And then that childlike sense of, it's all right. Everything's all right. And then everything's going to be all right, you see? But many people are so living on the edge of anxiety and anxiousness about the future and the to-do list and what they have to do and the things they have to make happen in order to be happy in the future. They keep putting their joy and happiness on the layaway plan. A little bit today, a little bit more tomorrow. No! There's no layaway plan in God's love, God's peace, and God's happiness. It's right here and right now. So what do? What do you do? Take a breath right here. Everybody, all around the world, like that. Now, you didn't for a second have the thought, if all of us, thousands of people around the globe breathe, we're not going to have enough air. You didn't think that. You just took the breath and realized in this second, right? This second, my need is met. I got the oxygen and hydrogen that I need. I say that because it's H2. It's 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part's oxygen. A lot of times we talk about oxygen, but you better get your hydrogen too. You can get some hydrogen pills, put it in your water. It kills all free radicals, stops the aging process, and boosts your immune system. That's an aside. But anyway, it's a good aside. So anyway, when you take that, all is well right now. This second. Yeah, I know this stuff this bills are going to have to be paid. Yes, there's stuff that has to be done. Yes, I know. But right here, all needs met. Everything's okay. This second. I'm not talking about the next second. This second. And then you feel that everything's going to be okay. You start to recalibrate your nervous system to everything's all right. Everything's going to be okay. You become like a child again when your parents, for those of you who had loving parents, you had a feeling that everything was taken care of. Everything was going to be okay, you see? And then that becomes the dominant calibration of your nervous system. And then by universal law, that vibration is matched, and the grace of God reveals itself as your needs met, even before you know how it's going to happen. Grace shows up in your life. Again, my daughter Michaela gave Celeste a little teaching on grace one day. This is before cell phones and all of that. They're driving on the freeway, and something happens with the car, and Celeste has to pull over. And it's very difficult. There's no phone, she's eventually going to have to walk to go somewhere in order. She's got this little girl in tow. She says, and Michaela says, Mom, don't worry, Dad's coming, don't worry. And she says, Michaela, we're on the freeway. Dad doesn't even know we're here. He's not going to show up and help us. She says, yes, he is. Everything's going to be okay. Dad's coming. I'm driving on the freeway for some reason. I noticed him. Looks like Celeste over there. And I pull over, and it is. Obviously, take them to the gas, and we get a tow truck. We do. And Michaela's like, told you. Everything's going to be okay. She gave him a little lesson on the childlike grace, availability. Everything's okay. Don't worry about it. Dad is coming. It's happening. Now, was I coming, or was it Michaela's consciousness of Dad's coming that allowed me to see? I don't know. Regardless of the fact, it was a childlike awareness. I'm remembering my son, Ki'ilu, Francis Fidon Beckwith, him and Jamal Harris, me and my boy John Harris, we had kids at the same age, and we used to coach at this basketball league at Robinson Park. And so we signed up our little boys to play basketball, and we're on our way to the park, and Ki'ilu's in the back seat, and he says, Dad, I don't know how old he is, maybe 8, 9. And he said, Dad, is it legal to dunk in this league? I said, yeah. And they start slapping 5 in the back seat. We get the dunk. Now, they're this tall, But I couldn't take away. I didn't get into, you're only 4 feet tall, and the basket is, 10 feet. You can't dunk. I just said, yeah, it's legal to dunk. And they were so happy. Anyway, when they got to the park and started playing basketball, they forgot all about dunking. They just played, But that childlike spirit of, is dunking legal? Yes, it is. Hey, is healing legal? Is manifesting prosperity legal? Is healing your emotional contagion around catching worry legal? Or dissolving emotional contagion? Is dissolving emotional contagion around anxiety? Can you break free? Is it legal to break free from the prevailing thought of worry and doubt and fear? Yes, you can. It is not only legal, it is the right use of the law, you see, to break free from that. Be ye as a child and throw away childish things. It is time for humanity to grow up and throw away gross materialism and consumerism, that which would drive human beings to actually destroy the lungs of the earth, the rainforest that produces and provides so much oxygen, and all of these herbs and ways that allow for natural medicine to emerge and to assist humanity. It is time for human beings to throw away the childish ways of polluting their own environment, polluting their own oceans and lakes and rivers. It is time for humanity to throw away their childish ways of bragging about the next great weapon that they have developed in order to destroy their neighbor on the other side of the world. It is time for humanity to throw away childish ways of destruction and separation and bigotry and racism, and having such a small, narrow perception that just because someone has a different color of skin, they're playing the inferior, superior game. That is childish. It is a limited perception. It is time to be childlike, see the wonders of the universe, and know that you're at the center of it, and throw away being childish by limiting your perception and living in a sense of separation from nature, the planet, the cosmos, and each other. Oh, let us move from into childlike, and let us move away from childish, so that the destiny that is within us, within every single being, a spiritual whole idea of cosmic proportions, can be set free, so that anything that is hindering you, anything that's blocking you, anything that you think has more power than God begins to dissolve in front of your eyes. Just say to yourself when you're looking, when you're at your wit's end, your back is against the wall, there's some kind of condition, say, is this more powerful than the God presence? No! You see? And then you'll understand. You'll understand the intricate teachings of Jesus when he said, I send you forth as sheep among wolves. Be as wise as a serpent and as harmless as a dove. Now, what does that mean? He didn't say, I'm sending you forth among the wolves. Be careful. He didn't say, be concerned about the wolves. Worry about the wolves. He said, no, I send you forth as sheep among the wolves. Be wise and harmless. He was talking about a state of being. Not to be worried about the wolves. Not to be overly concerned about the wolves. However the wolves are looking like. They're looking like a virus. They're looking like war. Whatever they look like. He said, attain a state of being. Wise and harmless. That's a state of consciousness. You realize that's all he talked about was states of consciousness? If you assume a state of consciousness, childlike, embracing mysteries to unfold, a great joy of being, inspired wisdom, you get this through intuition. Your intuition transcends your intellect. Direct knowing, like a child, direct knowing, intuition. If you assume a consciousness, now you can walk in the world, but you're of a higher consciousness. You're walking in the world. Inspired wisdom is leading you. You're directed. You see? And you're harmless. You're harmless. Wise and harmless. So if you can catch that you are here to attain a level of consciousness, because he didn't say, oh, you better be worried about those wolves. Oh, be anxious about them. Oh! No. He said, no, I'm sending you forth among them. Be wise as a serpent. Open yourself up to your intuition. Be harmless, and gentle. He didn't say be a wuss. He didn't say be a coward. Harmlessness does not translate into cowardness or wussfulness, if that's a word. It is now. It means you're walking with potent power, the love of God. You're at the center of the universe. Everything is flowing through you. Your instrument is a vehicle for the transcendent. And then what happens? Quantum statement. As I am lifted up, I draw all unto me. As I go to a higher frequency, I draw everything around me into that higher frequency. Life wins, love wins, joy wins, peace wins, compassion wins, generosity wins, creativity wins. I'm rising. I'm drawing. Now, all of us who are together right now, all around the world, 80-something countries tuning into Agape in the course of one day, from the 6:45 a.m. service, 9 o'clock service, 11:30 service, all these people in all these different parts of the world, as we rise together. Allow for our childlike nature, our beginner's mind, receptivity, availability, to be active with spiritual practice. We will lift each other and become points of seed planting for individuals who are desiring to wake up, like the Reverend Dr. Don Green, who was going through some tumult in his life based on injustice that happened in his experience, to wake up to his glorious nature, to be a wonderful practitioner, wonderful minister of the teachings, and a complete transformation of character. Remember, karma doesn't determine your destiny. Karma determines a starting point. Your destiny is determined by your attitude that changes your character. Your character determines your destiny. So wherever you are, it's a starting point. It's not an ending. It's not an end point. It's a starting point. Let's start right now. This is a new day. Let's start right now. This is a new day. I'm having a new thought. As someone once said, this is a new thought. We should have one every now and then. We should have one every now and then. Every now and then you should have a new thought. So open yourself up and catch the inspiration direct from the heart mind of the infinite. Have an original idea from the presence of God, and watch as your originality, your one-of-a-kindness is uncovered, revealed, wow, and allowed to express like never before. Oh, this is what I want for you. This is what I want for you. So then you become a celebrant of the divine presence. A celebrant of the divine presence. A celebrant. You remember the story. I've shared this before, but you remember the monks that were translating the ancient text meticulously. And then one day, one of the monks screams, "Oh, no!" And they said, "What?" It says celebrant, not celibate. I'm just saying. We're here to be celebrants of the divine presence, okay? Take a breath with me right now. Feel some sense of celebration within your space. Watch this individual celebrate with Dance with the Riff now. Watch him celebrate. Kayla Anderson from Maryland. That's where I was born. I was born physically incarnated at Bethesda, Maryland, the Naval Hospital. They have a little plaque there on the little place where I was born. I'm kidding. My father was in the Navy, and so I was born at the Naval Hospital, Bethesda, Maryland, and this is where Kayla Anderson is dancing from. I hear Love Train in the background. Kayla! Shell, are you coming up here? Just feel into that. You feel into that? Feel the divine sense of celebration within you. As we begin to just move a little bit, we're going to take you into the paradise consciousness, the consciousness of expansion, the consciousness of great vision, the consciousness of great possibility. We're going to invite you, wherever you are, whatever continent you're on, to just stand up and move that body. Brother Paul, what you got for us? Take a holy breath. Oh, she's coming out already. Come on out. Come on out. E. Share. This is my goddaughter. Oh, she got to move. As we're lifted up into the spiritual domain, we begin to see a little bit differently. There's a broadcast going on. This broadcast comes from within kill it. Come on, come on. Song singing. Bring it to life. There is something within you that wants to express. There is something within you that wants to come forward. You are anointed and appointed by the Spirit as the image and likeness of divine and ultimate reality. As we make in that domain, we bring heaven to earth as a spiritual rocket, E-shell. Say to yourself, I'm taking an adventure in paradise. And guess what? I'm taking you with me. I'm activating my spiritual stimulus package. I'm taking an adventure in paradise. How young are you? Your stimulus package begins with an awareness that you're sourced and fueled and funded by a renewable resource which is within you. It never runs out. This is Ishel. It is your essence. Her name means the Maya moon goddess. Your divine spiritual stimulus package is activating the gifts of divinity within you. That you may express them. You will express them beyond your wildest imagination and joy. Joy breaks out all over. It's the real source. Feel it in your bones. Take a holy breath and say to yourself, I think your mama is very happy out there. And guess what? Thank you, God. I'm taking you with me. I'm activating my spiritual stimulus package. I'm taking an adventure in paradise. In order to have this stimulus package, stop looking outside for help. In your bones? Feel it. Listen with that feel it. Feel it. It's everywhere. Joy is everywhere. Love is everywhere. Why don't we see that? Uh-oh, we got the dance on the sidelines here. John Mubarak. Okay, we're going to bring it in a little bit here. We're going to feel, allow this moment of celebration that's producing dopamine. It's producing tonic chemicals flowing through us right now. Oh, our immune system is going woo-hoo. Circulation is going, whoa, yeah. Neurons in our brain, whoa, yeah. You don't stop dancing. When you get old when you stop dancing. When you stop celebrating, you stop praying, you stop loving, you stop giving, you stop sharing, you stop creating. So we allow for ourselves to come into a level of coherence around the fundamental feeling tone of gratitude. Oh, feel you can go into the past for a moment only in this way and find something to be grateful for. You can come into the present moment and find something to be grateful for. Or you can have nothing at all and just elevate yourself to gratitude. I'm grateful that I exist. Ha! Woo! I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful. Oh, just say that to yourself a couple of times. I'm just grateful, I'm grateful. Even if you don't believe it yet, just say, I'm just grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful until the feeling tone emerges within you. I'm just grateful, I'm 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 grateful. Oh, I can see clearly now. I see opportunities. possibilities. My childlike imagination is set free. It's unbridled. It's limitless. Oh, I don't know how, but I'm beginning to see the what? Great possibilities in my life. That's recognition. Oh, and then with every breath we take, we feel a level of connection with the presence that's closer than our breathing, nearer than our hands and feet. Come! I'm here already. And from this sense of connection, the word is spoken. For each and every one of us, activating the intrinsic freedom that's within us, the particular intrinsic joy and intrinsic love and abundance and right action and safety. Oh my God. He didn't tell us to go out and worry about wolves. He said, ha! I'm sending you forth among them. Be wise. Have inspired wisdom. Be harmless. Assume the state of being. And you can't be touched. Feeling it. I'm feeling it. Oh, help him feel it for a moment.
As around the sun, the earth knows she's revolving,
And the rosebud knows to bloom in early May.
just as hate knows love's the cure. You can rest your mind assured. God is loving you always.
As now can't reveal the mysteries of tomorrow.
But in passing, we'll grow older every day.
Just as all is born is new.
Do know what I say is true. God is loving you always, until the rainbow burns the stars out in the sky.
Always
Until the ocean covers every mountain high.
always
Until the dolphin flies and parrots live at sea.
always
Until we dream of life and life becomes a dream.
Did you know that true love asks for nothing? Yeah.
Her acceptance is the way we pay.
Did you know that life has given love a guarantee?
Last through forever.
Last to forever day. Just as time knew to move on since the beginning.
And the seasons know exactly when to change.
Just as all is born is new.
Do know what I say is true. God is loving you always. As today I know I'm living, but tomorrow
Could make me the past, but that I mustn't fear. Oh,
'cause I know deep in my mind the love of me I left behind.
'cause
God is loving you always.
Think about always. Think about forever. Think about eternal. You got to do more than think about it now. You have to realize that the presence of God's love and all of the attributes are eternal, timeless, and forever, now becoming the activity of your awareness. I invite you into this moment of prayer as a community. You can close the outer eye and begin to have a great insight into the perfect healing and right action for Joketa, for her husband Isa. Let's embrace Isa right now in our mind's eye, and Joketa, and let us feel the presence of God working in their lives right this moment. Let us feel that. You just feel the same truth for Mary Ann Winters, for Marcel, for his son Chichi Cheunya, Narges Mosafari, for their aunt Tahira, Maurice Bresfield and family for their daughter Lauren Mason. Let us embrace the cast at Hamilton High School, the cast of Jelly's Last Jam. The performance on Friday was postponed because some of the cast members tested positive for COVID. They're now testing positive for Christ consciousness. They're testing positive for healing and enthusiasm, wholeness and well-being. We hold them in prayer right now for right action. We embrace our brother practitioner Victor Dickerson for his mom's twin, Prince, his uncle, Prince Rollins. They called him Uncle Sonny, who shuffled off the mortal coil. He's meeting with Victor's mom right now. Peace be still. Naomi Judd moved from visible to invisible, but not invisible to God, and then in the hands and love of the ancestors. And then we embrace Michaela Alice Beckwith, Ki'ilu Francis Fanon Beckwith, Tyler King Che, Chief Saya, Akili Gabron, James Coleman. We embrace all these individuals as we releasing Leslie Celeste Beckwith Coleman. You can see a family picture of us there. Recent, quite recent, last year. You see Brother James there to the far left, her husband, and other family members with her. Yes. And you see her at my house there with her great-grandson. His name is Jackson Michael Beckwith. She got a chance to meet him before she left the land of the visible. She left the land of the dying to go into the land of the living. For the moment you're born, you're dying. So she's come from the land of the living to the land of the dying. She's now back in the land of the living with her ancestors, friends, and family and associates, acclimating to another dimension of life. Oh, we hold all of us in prayer. If you're holding anyone in prayer, don't hold them in worry. Don't do that. Don't hold them in anxiety. No. Hold them in prayer. Whoever you're praying for, just hold them in prayer right now. Even yourself. And prayer is not begging. Prayer is having a realization that the presence is right here. Thank you. Thank you. We give thanks and we allow it to be so. Oh, grave, where is thy victory? Death, where is thy sting? It has none, because death does not exist. It's an open doorway to another expression of life. We invite us all to know this for each being that has passed over and may be passing over right now. God is always God, and so it is. Amen. As we open our eyes, we enter into a gratitude-giving consciousness. This is a time in which we get to support the spiritual community a perfect spiritual idea known as Agape International that's been unfolding for over 35 years now. And the veterans who've been here for years have assisted in paving the way financially for everyone that's now coming to participate in this expanded community that began in me and Celeste's living room years ago. It's now a global community. So we thank the veterans who have financially made a big difference in allowing God to use them to support the community. And the veterans already know how to give. And we invite everyone else now to step into it. First, we have this prayer. We give thanks for what we have to give. We bless it and dedicate it to the knowing of truth that makes us free. We see that Agape has all of its needs met with ease and grace, and we allow it to be so. And so it is. Amen. If you're new to the giving frequency, you want to activate the law of circulation in your life, and you want to activate your giving muscles, text the word give to 424-321-6243. Everything I'm about to tell you is on the screen as well if you're sighted. Text the word give to 424-321-6243. Your phone will prompt you. You choose the amount today and the regularity of your gifting. If you want to mail it in, you mail your checks and money orders to Agape International, 8549 Wilshire Boulevard, Suite 1156, Beverly Hills, California, 90211. If you're on YouTube or another platform and you want to go to our website, go to agapelive.com. There'll be a banner up at the top that allows you to donate. Just follow the instructions and choose the amount. And sign up and give us your email so that you can receive the inspirational thoughts during the course of the week and other information as well. If you're on Facebook, my Facebook page, Agape's Facebook page, there's a donation button there. All of that comes straight to Agape. And we absolutely appreciate your presence. I'm going to turn this service over now to our music and to Reverend Julie Moret, because I have a meeting to get to. Don't leave before the benediction. Be polite. Have manners. See you shortly.
Yeah. Let's feel into that love. Love, be encouraged, love. We'll see you through, love. Be the first to love. Fill your heart with love. Be about it. Sing a song about love. Never doubt that love. Full dimensional love is our shelter, love. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, love gives you courage. It mends your heart. It's the best thing. You can't go wrong with love, 'cause it's eternal and it has no end. So stand on up for love. Unconditional love is our shelter, love. Now and always love. Before and after love, love, love. Come on, Ben, darling. Be the first to love. Fill your heart with love. Be about it. Sing a song about love. Never doubt that love. Full dimensional love is our shelter, love. Now and always love. Before and after love. Love, love. Come on, David Neal.
You courage, it mends your heart. It's the best thing, you can't go wrong with love, 'cause it's eternal and it has no end. So stand on up for love, full dimensional love is our shelter. Love now and always, love before and after love.
Thank you so much, Marianne, Victor. I like little dance moves going on. Agape House Band, thank you. Thank you so much for your generous giving. And if you're still in the giving process, please continue. We want to thank you so much for your generosity. You know, these last 2 years, we haven't had folks here at the theater, and you all have helped us to stay not only up and running, but expand. We have an Agape practitioner class that's about to graduate, and I know Paula is graduating from Costa Rica. So that was never possible before. We're up online, so thank you for your generosity. And y'all want to help me bless it? So I'm going to invite you to fire up your own energy to be a participant in this. And you can extend your heart through your hands and simply bless the givingness, bless everything that has been offered up. Take this moment. I'm so grateful and so thankful for all that has been given. Just knowing that all of Agape's needs are met. I'm so grateful for this abundance. I'm so grateful for this flow. I'm so grateful for prosperity. I know that for everybody giving, it's a circle, it's a cycle. It continues, the giving and the receiving and the giving and receiving. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity for all of us to dive into this law of manifestation, this transaction of prosperity. And I'm just knowing that right where Agape is, all our needs are so well and abundantly met that we continue to be a beneficial presence on the planet. I'm so grateful and thankful. And I say, and so it is. Amen. So thank you for your giving. We're going to have our final song for today. I believe it's Blessed Always. And then please stick around for the benediction. Reverend Joanne Coleman will be providing our benediction today. And, as Reverend Michael says, have good manners. Stay till the end and receive it. We come here and we ask for something. So as you receive the benediction, receive all the lessons, all the teachings, all the light, all the love. Thank you so much for your participation today.
Feel free to stand right where you are in your living room. We can stand together as we sing this benediction song. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say, oh, let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say,
Amen. I love the language of Yeshua, Jesus, Joshua. And the word I hear for this benediction is Ephatha, Ephatha, which is what he says after he reaches in and pulls the man's tongue, and when he sticks his fingers in the ear of that man who could not hear, he says, become opened, become opened, become open. Oh, this service has been an opening. Oh, we let the presence of God pull our tongue so we speak good, we speak right, and we speak true. And then we let the presence of Christ stick its fingers in our ears and we hear rightly, we hear deeply. Oh, our lives are the Ephatha. Whoever we come in contact with is opened by our opening. Oh, what a service we've had today. It's been delicious. It has been fragrant. It has nurtured our souls. Let us leave here today well fed. We are well fed, Ephatha, because we have opened to the divine. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, beautiful Reverend Joanne. Thank you, Reverend Julie, Reverend Michael. We're just grateful for this house band. Ben Dowling, John Hart, David Neal, Rayford Griffin. So grateful for Jason Powell, our amazing musical inspiration. Thank you, Victor. We're grateful for all of you. Have a beautiful week.